Hey, welcome back to another video. This is Rynox. I'm glad to be doing this video. I'm going to be doing a guide on the Marksman class for Blue Protocol Star Resonance. In a little bit, I'm going to be putting some video in the background showing what I'm going to be talking about, but we're going to be going through gear, items, modules, a little bit about the dungeons, and some of the other daily things you want to be doing to make sure you can get to the gear score that you want. For the gear score that I have is about 18,400 and some change. So that's what we're going to be trying to aim for. I'm going to be able to show you what I've done to get to my gear score or my ability score, I should say. And with that information, you should be able to go ahead and find what you might need for your build. I'm going to be using Wild Pack as my build. So this is going to be an example of a marksman using Wild Pack. So starting off, we have our season pass area. This is going to be one of the big areas. If you don't have the season pass, I highly recommend getting that advanced season pass. That's what I have. I'm a low spender. I bought that plus the monthly pass. It's about 30 bucks, a little less. But it's going to give you a lot of materials over time that you're going to want for your builds. Especially in here, this is going to be the Void Aura and the Void Residue. You get those weekly. Now we get the Void Auras, I should say. But you're going to be buying these every week at the start of the week, at least. Monday is when reset happens, so I would recommend that. Going through the gear, we can go ahead and look at my Sunburst longbow, focusing on the agility, haste, and mastery for the wild pack spec. You can see down there, I have a crit as my bonus. I'm going to have to re-roll that, but I'm going to be waiting to do that. I'm going to explain that here in a little bit as well. So my helmet is also going to be a part of a set piece. So I'm going to be focusing on that down here. As you can see, I do also have all of my items embedded with at least level 5 gems. Some of them are 6 or 7s as well. They do give you a little bit more of a bump. It's not too crazy, but it does add up over the pieces of armor you're going to be using. So as you can see, I do have not full rune gear, but I do have 4 pieces of rune gear. So my helm, my chest, my arms, and my boots. As we get into the next weeks, we should be able to grab these other raid items as well as our level 70 items. So it'll be a good time next week as well. So stay tuned for Monday when we do reset again. But as you can see here, you can take screenshots or you can pause the video, kind of seeing where I'm at when it comes to what I have for gear, the actual items themselves, what they're embedded with, and at what level. Next, we have skills. Skills are going to be kind of the more important area of the ability score. I'm going to be showing you on the right-hand side everything that I actually have equipped. By priority, we have Bullseye, which is our main, Storm Arrow, then Wild Call. And then I would kind of recommend going with Luminary Bolt, Arrow Rain, Torrent Volley, and Focus. And when I say that, I do mean books. So your tiers, not your levels you use for Bound Luno. You're going to get them all to level 30, and then you're going to be using Marksman advanced books to actually upgrade these classes. Next, we have Battle Imagines. The Muku Scout and the Brigand Scout Leader are going to be probably the easiest to do when it comes to a free-to-play or a low spending account. Getting those yellows are going to be a lot more difficult. But you can definitely do it. This is going to be our talents tree. The first talents, you're going to fill out the whole thing. But if you want to go ahead here and either take a screenshot or pause the video, I'm going to be scrolling down here pretty slowly, showing exactly what I have activated for my class. This did come straight from Max Roll for the most part. So if you have that, I'm going to have that link down below as well if you need a more in-depth written guide for a Wild Pack Marksman. Now, next up, we're going to be looking at the profile. This is going to show you where you have your ability score, your adventurer level. And this is kind of a quick breakdown. I can kind of move here. Let me see if I can get rid of my face here. But down there is the skill training. So that's going to be your skills. Then we have talents, the emblem. That's kind of where you're going to get power from the emblem. So you want to be able to do those seasonal events when it comes to, and we're showing here these different skills. So these are skills that are going to be kind of like borrowed power, if you will. We upgrade these through farming and different other things. And then you can also, at the end of it, we'll be able to have 3 skills there upgraded. But for now, you get to pick 2. Going back, we have the gear score up there. And all of these combined equal your ability score, which is that thing you see a lot about. As you can see, we're looking at modules now. We do open up the 4th one on Monday coming up. Right there is where you get modules. And then you can select what you want. On the Max Roll GG, you want to be looking for basically attack speed and the crit focus. Those are kind of like our main ones. There are a few sub ones as well, but just keep an eye out for what is available. Kind of, you're going to be getting them as packs in a sense. Then you're just going to open them, and you're going to be. It's kind of like a gotcha in a sense. Like, open the thing, and here's what you get. Next, looking into reforging, and this is kind of one of the big ones right now, especially if you're in the level 60 grind, is reforged stones. So like I said earlier, you can roll past 100 out of 100. The only reason you'd want to do that is to re-roll that bottom stat down there in gold. So mastery is something that I use for my class. I want to keep that. But say I wanted to have all mastery, if, in every item that I could go ahead and re-roll. But I am going to be spending those reforge stones to do that. The good thing is that if I ever needed to get rid of that item for another item, I will get all those reforge stones back for the most part. So don't be too afraid to upgrade your items with reforged stones, but definitely be smart about it. Your weapon is going to be the biggest item individually that gives you a higher ability score. So be sure to prioritize the weapon, but obviously, it's your game. Play how you like, but the weapon is going to give you that higher number. So if you need a specific number to get into a specific dungeon like Masters, or if people are looking for a certain ability score for raids, at least that number gets your ticket in, right? As you can see here, I'm kind of going through and upgrading or reforging certain items based off of what the skill is, the upgraded skill, like that mastery that just popped right there. I'm basically, if I already have mastery or haste and it's a 90 plus, I'm kind of going to go to the next item because I don't want to lose that good roll on the back end, right? And I can always upgrade those later. So as you can see, my ability score did go up by like 100 or so points just from doing those reforges, and that was maybe 3 or 4 reforges. You don't really need to do super bunch to get like a lot, but if you just every day do a little and a little, you do get reforged stones from doing your unstables, which you should be doing 2 of those a day, and you get about anywhere from like 6 to 8 reforged stones. You should also be doing your 2 chaotic dungeons at least a day. As you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and embed a gem, but first I need to go ahead and craft it. So I'm going to craft one real quick. You can see here, I'm trying to craft a agility 5 emerald. We'll go into emeralds or gems in a different video, but here I'm going to go ahead and make sure I can craft it. I do have enough. I was going to see if I can make 2 there, but I only had enough to make 1. What I'm doing is, even though all my items have embedded gems, I'm going to see if I can basically roll for a higher level gem. So with a level 5 gem, you can actually get level 6 or level 7 when you go to embed it, but there's only like a 5% chance for level 7 and like, I don't know, 10 or 15% chance for level 6. It should show here on the screen because I'm going to do it to my weapon because my weapon is actually level only agility 5. But it does, as you can see here, it does cost substantial amounts of bound Luno. So it's 50,000 for the chance, 5% chance to get a level 7, a 30% chance, I believe is what it said. Once you change this to advanced, it actually goes up, if you'll see. Yeah, so 30% chance to get 6. So I did end up re-rolling this, and sadly, I did re-roll back into a 5, and it does, as it says here, does destroy the gem. It doesn't give it back to you. So I wasted those materials, but hey, if I could have got a 7, that would have been a great day, right? So this is kind of how we go through embedding, reforging, all these things. Next up, I do want to show you at least a little bit of a dungeon. So this is the Kanamiya trial, master level 1. Anybody who has, I think, 12,340 ability score can at least pug for this or matchmake for it. It's a real quick video or clip of that fight. So this is something you're going to want to be doing at least 2 of a day, as well as your unstables. So I'm going to have a clip of the unstables here in a little bit here on the video, but we want to make sure that we're doing those at least every day if we're worried about getting our score up. If you're just worried about doing some life skills and hanging out and playing this very casually, this is not really the video for you. If you're looking to get as high as you can on a Marksman wild spec, this is going to, or wild pack spec, this is going to be a good starter guide for you, especially if you've maybe looked over, passed over certain things or you forgot about certain things. Especially since the game's been out for a month now, we've kind of gotten to this rotation of doing things. And if you've gotten out of that rotation, it might feel a little weird at this point. So as a refresher for the people who have been playing and for all the new folks who have just jumped into Blue Protocol, welcome for one. It's a great game. It's a good time. But this should help you kind of find your way to at least where I'm at, which is 18,400. And so now after we did that, as you can see, we did get a Bane Lord in that one. So we got a little Bane Lord box. I think that's like my 3rd one. So I don't need the level 60 gear right now. So here we go to the unstables. That's where you do unstables. If you didn't know, it's the lower floor. It's just a boss fight. Ability score 100 is all you need. It's basically a pump and dump of damage. You basically just do it real quick. It takes maybe, if your team is low level and you have low ability score, it might take you a couple minutes, but it might take 2 to 3 minutes per run, if that. But it gives you reforged stones, like I told you, and it also gives you an item, Throne Gold. That Throne Gold is going to be a thing that gets you a level 70 weapon once you can get that. So right now I have the most you can possibly get, and I think it's like 42 or 43, right? Like you need 50 of them to actually get a so that's the throne gold right next to the orb on screen there. But you need 50 of those plus a level 60 weapon. I think maxed out, maybe. I'm not sure if it needs to be maxed out or not, but you need both of those to go ahead and do that. Now, here we got the store. This is going to be the mystery store. You're going to want to check this daily. You will get a refresh button if you buy the pass, the monthly pass. So I would definitely suggest that. It also helps with selling on the trading center, like I mentioned in my last video about Blue Protocol. But here we're going to be go ahead and grab a few things, some things for just social, but like the dies. But we're also going to be grabbing these chests. These chests have a chance to drop advanced books, battle imagine materials, a lot of really useful things. They are very, you know, it's a mystery box. You're not always going to get what you want. I've gotten a lot of books that aren't for marksmen, and it is what it is. But also, as you can see here, there is reforge stones. After I refreshed it, it wasn't on there originally, but it is there now. Yeah. Lastly, here we do have world boss battles. Definitely want to do at least 2 of these a day because you get 2 keys a day. You never want to get to 6 and then skip a day because then you're losing 2 keys. As you can see here, huge group for this world boss. It was awesome, incredible. It was very quick. We were able to do it really quickly. I jumped over to another line which you can do, and there was a Muku King still alive. No one's fighting it, so I said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna go in and see what I can do." Right? I put it in world chat, as you can see there. I just put MK32. It's you just put like the number for the line because that's kind of like the instance in a sense, and then you put what you're fighting. MK from Muku King, right? I'm tanking this guy. I have a healer that ended up showing up, which is great, but I can tank this. It's going to take me a while, and I'm a marksman DPS, but I can go ahead and do this, especially with a healer by my side. MK is definitely that kind of world boss. But as you can see here, as we kind of jump to the middle of it, people started to flood in, right? So this game, if you are in a world boss area and you see maybe one other person, don't be afraid to go into that fight. Put it in the world chat that what you're fighting, and people might just show up because they might not need that fight, but say they have a key that they don't care about using, or maybe they just want to go fight something to help, right? So don't just not do it, especially if you need to do it anyways, because if people are somewhere, right, and they can always use, click P, go on your line, help you out, and then either get the chest or not. But don't forget to hit your chest. There's going to be a large group here, but you have to walk to where the boss died. You can't always see it visually to get that chest. Make sure you use that key. And like I said, use 2 a day, and that'll help you at least use all the, max out what you have at least daily, so you're not losing any keys. Yeah, right. But yeah, thanks again for watching today. This has been a great video. I've been wanting to make this for a couple weeks now, but I felt like I needed to kind of gather my thoughts and whatnot. Blue Protocol has been I am big. Blue Protocol has been a great game for me. I've been enjoying the hell out of it. I am definitely more on a rotation now with it because we're kind of past all the big content. We have 2 raids that are out. I've cleared them on normal and hard with my guildmates. I can't wait to do it again this coming Monday, but then we also have the 3rd raid coming out, so that'll be some great new content. But besides masters, kind of getting to like level crazy, like a 5 and 6, I haven't done that on everything, but I've done everything else. So I would highly recommend following this guide, or at least thinking about what I've done and trying to incorporate it into your build. My build is definitely, or the way I've done things is definitely not the only way. It might not be the best way either, but it's the way that I found that works for me based off of what I've researched, what I've read, and some guildmates and other friends playing the game. So I hope you had a great time watching the video, and I really appreciate you stopping by. If you want, we do have a Discord community. The link will be in the description, as well as a Twitch. I am live every day here on YouTube, as well as Twitch, 8:30 a.m. every day. So drop a subscription, drop a follow, drop a like. Have a great day, guys. Till the next one. Peace.